The following is a production of Learfield Sports.
Hello and welcome to Spartan Sports Report. I'm Justin Allegri. San Jose State 4-5 following a heartbreaking loss to BYU on Friday 17-16. We'll recap that game with San Jose State head coach Ron Carragher, and we'll look ahead as the Spartans re-enter conference play this weekend against Nevada. Plus, Jonathan Wold, our reporter, will have the story of the first ever Mountain West Conference Championship for San Jose State athletics by the women's soccer team. All that to come, but first let's go to the highlights against BYU.
San Jose State taking on non-conference opponent BYU for the first time since 2012. Spartans got the ball first and got to work. Kenny Potter floats a pass near sideline for tight end Billy Freeman, who reaches back for a leaping first down grab at a 19-yard reception. The very next play, Hansel Wilson takes the end around and sweeps out to the right side for 15 more yards to the BYU 26-yard line. Spartans got to the Cougar 2-yard line, but Potter dropped back and was sacked after trying to squirt free, and it was a loss of 12 yards. So Austin Lopez would come on for the field goal try from 31 yards away and knock it straight on through, and San Jose State had a 3-0 lead following their first drive of the game. BYU would answer, though, with their big wide receivers. Tanner Mangum rolls right to hit his wide receiver Mitch Matthews for a pickup of 19 to the San Jose State 16-yard line. 2 plays later, BYU would grab the lead again, going to Matthews for the touchdown and making it a 7-3 first quarter lead. In the second quarter, BYU has the ball driving again and getting into the end zone, this time on the ground with a great cut from Algernon Brown from 5 yards away, making it 14-3 Cougars. With 1:23 left in the half, BYU has the ball after a Spartan 3-and-out, and Magnum steps up to heave a pass down the sideline, connecting with Devin Blackman for a 39-yard gain and into Spartan territory. 2 plays later, Magnum throws behind his receiver, and jumping the route was Cleveland Wallace for his 3rd interception of the year and taking it back 61 yards to the house just before halftime, bringing the score to 14-10 BYU. Spartans got the ball after forcing a 3-and-out to start the second half, and on the 3rd-and-1, Tyler Irvin busted a 19-yard run for a first down to the Cougar 49-yard line. Then it is Potter firing to Billy Freeman, who catches it and adjusts back and thinks about hurdling again, but this time is tackled after an 11-yard gain to the BYU 32. Spartans' momentum would be stopped at the 29-yard line, so Austin Lopez comes on for a 46-yard try, but just hits the upright on the right side, and it falls no good. BYU added a field goal of their own, so the Spartans had the ball with 5 minutes left, needing a touchdown in the fourth quarter. On 4th-and-1, Kenny Potter used the naked boot to take it 34 yards, and a late hit out of bounds added 15 more on top of it. When the dust had settled, the Spartans were on the BYU 27-yard line. 3 plays later, Potter takes it into the end zone on a quarterback keeper diving to the pylon and bringing the score within 1 just before the point after. It was the 4th consecutive game in which Potter had rushed for a touchdown, the only San Jose State quarterback ever to do so. The Spartans decide to go for it on the 2-point conversion and go for the win. They use a trick play. Irvin gets the handoff, looking to throw to Freeman. He does, but Freeman cannot haul it in, and it falls incomplete, and the Spartans suffer the heartbreaking 1-point loss to BYU, 17-16. That's the final from Spartan Stadium. San Jose State falls to 4-5 this year, while BYU improves to 7-2 overall. Kenny Potter had 147 yards passing and a rushing touchdown, while Cleveland Wallace's pick 6 was the other Spartan score, his 3rd interception of the year. Meanwhile, Tanner Mangum took on the nation's best pass defense and put up 293 yards passing with a touchdown and an interception. Devin Blackman had 102 of those receiving yards overall. San Jose State falls, the final score in the last non-conference game of the year for San Jose State, 17-16 to BYU. Time now for this week's Bay 101 Casino Player of the Game, and it is corner Cleveland Wallace, who picked off his third pass of the season and scored on a 61-yard return. The 61-yard return is the longest of the season by the Spartans, and the touchdown was the second time this year that a San Jose State player had returned one for a pick six. Wallace was also credited with 2 pass breakups on the night, and for his effort, he is this week's Bay 101 Casino Player of the Game. Bay 101 Casino, San Jose's place to play.
Time now for this week's Lexus Drive of the Game. And for the Drive of the Game, we go back inside Spartan Stadium in the fourth quarter when the Spartans desperately needed a touchdown to keep the game alive.
We start with 5:05 left to play in the fourth quarter and a dump-off pass to Irvin that ends up being a loss of 2 yards. Then check out the grab by Billy Freeman, reaching back and absorbing a hit to push forward for 11 yards and close to a first down. Take a look again, though, as Billy Freeman just says nope on the hit and keeps on going. On 3rd and 1, they give it to Tyler Irvin. He cannot get the first down yardage. So it was up to Potter on the naked boot with the game on the line on 4th and 1, and he gets it done, going 34 yards down the far sideline, and then adds on the late hit play for 15 more yards. And what a gutsy call as we take a look again. Potter had all kinds of room in front of him, and he goes for the first down run and then some. After that Potter run, he is flushed from the pocket, spins away from a hit, and somehow gets the ball away and throws it out of play. On 2nd and 10, Irvin takes it running left for a 2-yard gain as he just barely does reach the outside edge. After a BYU timeout, Potter delivers to Tim Crawley, who gets a first down and a gain of 9 to the BYU 16. Potter then trips up on a snap and loses 4 yards. Then he tosses over the middle, looking to the end zone for Freeman, who is interfered with, and the Spartans get a first down via the penalty. After that, we know how this drive ends. Potter diving for the end zone and getting the touchdown to make it a 1-point game, and a spectacular effort by the San Jose State quarterback, his 4th consecutive game with a rushing touchdown. Overall, the drive lasted 10 plays, taking the Spartans 4 minutes and 24 seconds to go a total of 85 yards. The drive of the game is brought to you by your Northern California Lexus dealer, who invite you to test drive a Lexus today. Time now to take a look at this week's Kinder's Barbecue Mountain West scoreboard, and 5 scores to report in the Mountain West Conference last week, one of them being also a non-conference game. Army at Air Force. Air Force playing real good football right now, and Air Force got the win at home 20-3. Nevada on the road beat a scuffling Fresno State team 30-16 on Thursday night. Colorado State and Wyoming, well, Colorado State took care of Wyoming 26-7 as Wyoming's woes continue. Utah State and New Mexico played a very, very entertaining football game, with New Mexico coming up late again in that one and sneaking out a 1-point victory in Albuquerque over the Aggies of Utah State. New Mexico with the win 14-13. And Hawaii playing in their first game without Norm Chow, their former head coach, on the road at UNLV, with the Rebels of UNLV victorious 41-21 in that game. And that is a look at the Mountain West scores from last week on this week's Kinder's Barbecue Mountain West scoreboard.
We'll take our first break here on Spartan Sports Report. When we return, Jonathan Wold will have the story of the first ever Mountain West Conference Championship in San Jose State history. More to come on Spartan Sports Report when we return.
Come enjoy a California-grown experience at Una Mas Mexican Grill. From our local produce and freshest ingredients to our unique authentic Mexican dishes and salsa bar, Una Mas truly is California-grown. Since the first Una Mas opened in San Jose over 20 years ago, we've worked hard to use the freshest local ingredients to make the dishes you love. Because when we care this much about our food, everything is going to taste better, naturally. Una Mas Mexican Grill. We taste better.
If there's one thing the human foot has always been good at, it's unleashing great power. Introducing the 241 horsepower Lexus IS 200 Turbo with almost 20% more base horsepower. The IS Performance line has never been more powerful. See your Northern California Lexus dealer.
Welcome back on Spartan Sports Report. Jonathan Wold will have the story of the first ever Mountain West Conference Championship won over the weekend by San Jose State's women's soccer team.
Spartan women's soccer filled up the trophy case with some impressive hardware. That started last week with a slew of individual awards. Goalkeeper Zoe Macrianis was named Mountain West Defensive Player of the Year, along with getting first team all-conference honors. Joining her on that first team was Darlene Rodriguez and Dorothy Hoppius. Freshman Darielle Franklin made the second team, and Rachel Doherty got an honor roll mention.
Meanwhile, head coach Lauren Hansen was given the title of Mountain West Coach of the Year, leading the Spartans to an 8-3 conference record in her second season after a rocky start this year in non-conference play.
There's a period in our preseason we went through a bit of a rough patch, and it was good for them, honestly, because they had to grow together and they had to learn how to fight through it, and they did just that.
The Spartans headed down to San Diego for their first matchup against the University of New Mexico. The Spartans seemed to have control of the game after a goal in the 42nd minute by Maricruz Chapa, but New Mexico dramatically tied the game in the 90th minute.
Well, I think, to be honest, we just had kind of a mental lapse. You know, it happens through soccer in 90 minutes. It's a very long time to stay focused, and when it happened, we just knew that we had 2 overtimes left, so we had to come out and score. And if not, taking it to PKs, we have a great goalie to save PKs, and people just stepped up, and we just knew what we had to do. We had to win.
Surprisingly, the Spartans' secret weapon in penalty kicks wasn't Macrianis, but freshman keeper Paige Simoneau.
Everybody else is weird. To us, it was a plan the entire time, so realistically, she's just better than me, 100% at all of that. So when she goes in, other people may think their thing, but I'm calm at that point because all the pressure's on her, and she looked confident, if you ever seen anybody confident. So for me, it's easy peasy.
The move proved to be a smart one, with Simoneau coming up big and Darielle Franklin clinching the victory. Next up were the defending conference champions San Diego State Aztecs. And after allowing an early goal to San Diego State, this time it would be the Spartans with some 90th minute heroics. After a handball was called, Darielle Franklin buried a penalty kick to tie the game at 1. Now, stop me if you've heard this one before, but the game would go to penalty kicks, Simoneau would enter the game in goal, and Darielle Franklin would net the victory.
No, she goes right side and it's in! And San Jose State has won the Mountain West Conference Tournament.
When I got the first one, I was like, okay, my team's going to pull through for me. Like, I'm pulling through for them, so they got my back, I got theirs.
The win gives San Jose State their first ever Mountain West championship in any sport, and along with that, a bid to the NCAA tournament. The whole team gathered on Monday to watch the tournament selection show together. After an agonizing wait for some of the players, they finally heard their name called. And their opponent, the #1 seed Stanford Cardinal.
I mean, first choice would have been Santa Clara, but it's going to be a heck of a game against Stanford. They're an unreal team, but no, everybody likes the underdog story, so here we are.
That game takes place Friday at 7 p.m. in Palo Alto. From San Jose, Jonathan Wold, Spartan Sports Report.
Thanks, Jonathan. We'll take another break here on Spartan Sports Report. When we return, San Jose State head coach Ron Carrigal will be in studio to talk about the BYU game. More to come on Spartan Sports Report.
Come enjoy a California-grown experience at Una Mas Mexican Grill. From our local produce and freshest ingredients to our unique authentic Mexican dishes and salsa bar, Una Mas truly is California-grown. Since the first Una Mas opened in San Jose over 20 years ago, we've worked hard to use the freshest local ingredients to make the dishes you love. Because when we care this much about our food, everything is going to taste better, naturally. Una Mas Mexican Grill. We taste better.
With millions of businesses all in one place, the YP app can help you do pretty much anything. But can it get you to the moon? You'll need a space helmet. YP can do that. You'll need the highest rated hardware stores. Check. YP even has a cheap gas finder, which is perfect for longer trips. The even more powerful, so much more than a search engine Yellow Pages. YP can do that.
Welcome back on Spartan Sports Report. Now talking with San Jose State head coach Ron Carragher. And Coach, before we get into the whole football thing, I know a lot has been said about the women's soccer team and winning the first Mountain West Conference championship, and I know you gave your congratulatory as well.
Yeah, real excited. Coach Lauren Hansen and her staff and the program are really excited for them. First Mountain West Conference team championship in 3 years, I believe, and so really excited the direction that program's going. She's doing a great job, and always good news to hear a Spartan team succeeding.
Well, Coach, this BYU game, boy, it was a heartbreaking loss. Let's just jump ahead to that last drive. And first, before we get to the goal line, the 4th down and 1 play where the Spartans needed to get a first down to keep the game alive. Talk us through the play call, because that was brilliantly designed to get Kenny Potter out there.
We had seen the power plays, what we're running. It's a double down, kick out, lead through play, and we had seen their answer became the backside defender, who's usually the contained defender, running it down from behind. And we saw it earlier, and we saw it on the 3rd one for sure. And it just became, hey, we've got to have the quarterback keep. This is perfect. It's short yardage. They're going to sell out even more than ever. And let's have Kenny do everything. Everyone does everything they do on the power, only Kenny keeps it and runs out the back door. And he's a good athlete on top of that, gave us more confidence. So if there was one defender, he has the ability to shake. But anyways, it really paid off because they sold out on the play. Kenny kept it for a 35-yard gain. And I think what a big momentum boost. That was, Cleveland's interception for a touchdown was one momentum boost, but this was really big for our offensive drive. And so I was really glad that it worked out. It helped very big play in the game.
Yeah, certainly saved everything that was left for that final drive. So they get down to the goal line. Kenny Potter gets into the end zone. It's the first ever Spartan quarterback to rush for 4 consecutive touchdowns in 4 consecutive games. So that was a feat in its own. But talk us through the decision of going for 2. And maybe there wasn't a decision in your mind.
Yeah, no, I felt like once we made that long run and I thought this is aligning pretty good. And I just felt like all in all, when you go overtime, sometimes it becomes a battle, a kicking game. And just felt our kicking game right now is not at the A level that we need it to be at, automatic, and that concerned me. We'd had a tough time moving the ball all night against them, and so it could become a kicking dual game. I was excited about the way our defense was playing, and so I just thought if you give us a chance to put the ball on the 3-yard line and go for the win against a team that's likely a top 25 or right on the fringe, and go for it and get the win, I'm going to go for it. And it's kind of a mentality we have. We play to win the game. And so we went for it, and we didn't get it, unfortunately, really inches away. If Billy could have got his right hand up to get the ball, we catch it and we get the 2-point play. And so I think it was the right thing to do. And sometimes you got to swing for the fence if you want to hit a home run, and we didn't make it. But all in all, our team did play good. The never quit, never give up attitude was very encouraging.
Well, you mentioned the defense, Coach. This is probably the best defensive game the Spartans have played this year, maybe outside of the New Hampshire game. But against a high-power offense, the defense really came through.
I was excited. I mean, BYU, I think, is averaging 34, 35 points a game, and to hold them to half that was really, really good. And I just think we got better as the night went on. We after the first 2 drives that they drove down and scored, I think we improved and played better, and we got Vince Miles. We did a little shuffling on the back end of our defense with the nickel position, and I think it was good. Vince Miles made some good plays, and our defense all in all played really good thereafter.
Talk about that Cleveland Wallen interception, the pick 6 from 61 yards, and you mentioned the momentum that they gave the Spartans, obviously, but a heck of a play, and it really did boost the team.
It did, and ironically, the play before was a potential 21-3 go-ahead by them with almost a touchdown, and Cleveland made a play in the end zone, and it came out. And the very next play to get that interception, and I think it just energized our fan base and our team on the sideline. And to go into halftime 14-10 with momentum was so much different than 21-3 down, having just given up a touchdown. So I thought it was huge, and it set the tone for the second half.
One other thing to this game that helped the offense, I thought, was Thomas Tucker returning. And it was kind of unknown that he was coming in. You see him out on the field. Hey, Thomas Tucker is back.
Yes, he's an exciting player. He's got very good energy. He's a tremendous ball carrier with the football in his hands, and what he does, whether the screen game, the run game, the draw, he brings a lot to the table, and so it's very good to get him back.
All right, Coach, it was a tough game, obviously, but this is really a week where the team needs to refocus and head back into conference play. What was the message to the team, and have they cleared their mind?
Yeah, that's exactly it. The message was to keep the momentum going. I feel like our team does have momentum, despite the score of being on the not being on the winning side. I do feel our team has momentum. We played well. We've gotten better as a defense. We played solid as an offense. Let's keep this momentum in Mountain West Conference play, because we certainly have a good thing going, and we can really have a good season if we finish strong.
All right, we'll take a quick break with Coach Carragher, and when we return, we'll talk Wolfpack next on Spartan Sports Report.
With millions of businesses all in one place, the YP app can help you do pretty much anything. But can it get you to the moon? You'll need a space helmet. YP can do that. You'll need the highest rated hardware stores. Check. YP even has a cheap gas finder, which is perfect for longer trips. The even more powerful, so much more than a search engine Yellow Pages. YP can do that.
The Learfield Sports Directors Cup honors the nation's best overall collegiate athletic program in each division, men's and women's sports. The prestigious award continues its reign as the crowning achievement in college athletics. To follow your favorite team, like us on Facebook. Find us in USA Today, online, and on Twitter at LS Directors Cup. Over 2 decades of excellence, the Learfield Sports Directors Cup.
Welcome back on Spartan Sports Report, continuing to talk with San Jose State head coach Ron Carragher. And Coach, the Wolfpack on the horizon as the Spartans re-enter conference play. This is a pivotal game, to say the least.
Yeah, definitely. 2 teams competing for second place in the West Division of the Mountain West. We know that. They've got a nice geographically rival. They're a bus ride away from us, and we recruit against them a lot, so definitely an exciting game on Saturday.
Talk about their offense, because it's that pistol offense and really well-designed and really well-run by Tyler Stewart, their quarterback, who can do both things. A lot of similarities to Kenny Potter, I think.
Yeah, no, 2 good athletes that can throw the ball and have pretty good completion percentage, but also can run the ball effectively. He's averaging 4 yards a carry, which is pretty good for the quarterback, because you counteract that oftentimes with the sacks and minus yardage, but he's a good player. He can throw an accurate pass when needed, but he does run the ball effectively.
Well, Coach, they do have a nice balanced attack in the run game with Butler and Jackson. Those 2 guys really have put in a bulk of the yards in for Nevada this year. Talk about those 2
They have. It's a good 1-2 tandem. One guy's averaging 6.5, the other 5.5, and they can help ease the other's burden, so they're not running into the ground per se. But very good, effective run game. It's a misdirection run game, and you throw that in with the quarterback element. It's tough to defend.
Well, Coach, their defensive line, offensive line is very good too, but their defensive line really seems like they have playmakers on that.
Oh, they do. From number 8, Sayals got 8 sacks on the season, and with still 3 or 4 games left to play. And number 94 for them is a really good player with 6 sacks himself. We haven't played a team with 2 guys with that many sacks, getting pressure, tackles for losses, and so we have to do a really good job in the protection game of giving our quarterback time.
Yeah, how do you isolate those 2 players and prepare the offensive line for them?
Yeah, I mean, sometimes you have to slide into, you have to protect, double team, be able to help. Backs maybe chip on the way out, but you have to hold up a lot of times one-on-one block. It's a tough call, but you have to do a good job, and our guys will definitely know it's a challenging and an important one to be able to win the battle in the trenches.
Other elements of their defense is Barber in the secondary. I know he had an inflated game in terms of his stats last week, but 6 interceptions this year, right around the top, huh?
Yeah, pretty impressive. Leading the conference, if not the country. 6 interceptions. It just shows you a headsy football player. He's got good intuition, knows where the ball is going, and all in all, we have to do a good job being aware of where he is.
This historically has been a tough place to play for San Jose State. What do you think?
Yeah.
What is the reasoning behind it?
No, I know they've got it's just been a tough place, and other teams have gone in there. You look, Cal went in there and lost, and Boise went in there undefeated a few years back, hoping to go to a New Year's Day Bowl and lost. It's a tough place, and they do a good job. Their fans are boisterous and do a good job supporting their team, and they've had some success, but we just have to do a good job focusing in on what we do and being able to execute at a high level to be able to come through and have a good Spartan game.
All right, that's San Jose State head coach Ron Carragher. Thanks, Coach.
Thank you, Justin.
More to come here on Spartan Sports Report when we return.
there's one thing the human foot has always been good at, it's unleashing great power. Introducing the 241 horsepower Lexus IS 200 Turbo with almost 20% more base horsepower. The IS performance line has never been more powerful. See your Northern California Lexus dealer.
Welcome back on Spartan Sports Report. That does it for this week's episode. Once again, San Jose State football team hits the road to re-enter conference play against Nevada this Saturday the 14th. Kickoff at 1 o'clock from Reno. Pregame show on 1590 AM KLIV and the Spartan Radio Network beginning at 12:30. Thanks for watching this week, and we'll see you next time.